yeah, a lot of fun. It's kind of weird starting a world without everybody. It's, I mean, I guess me and Devin did Magnum Opus a while back, but that wasn't really a main thing. That was kind of just like I think it was supposed to be kind of like what we're doing now, but it just didn't really have the same heart. And I think now me and Devin are kind of more committed than ever to something like this. Even though I'm very busy. I assume Devin will probably be playing on it about the same amount as me, maybe a little bit more. But I guess playtime doesn't really matter. It's all, it doesn't really matter as long as I keep playing the world. That's at least how I see it. And I'm gonna kind of treat both of the worlds like that, both Journey and this new Minecraft world. I don't really have much of a name for it. I think the series is called Minecraft with Friends, which the main kind of goal of it was to deviate from like that whole SMP thing because, we don't really have a group for it anymore. So it's just me and Devin, and then whoever ends up, tagging along, and then in that case, you don't have to have that expectation of people being active or whatever, because they'll just be like a cameo or whatever, like show up, and if they want to stick around, they can. But there won't be any pressure or anything. And I tried to run away from the whole not getting too caught up in activity and that kind of thing. But me and Devin ultimately realized that activity is pretty much like how a lot of servers can run. Like, it was basically Devin playing a single player world. I'd love to say that I put a wholehearted effort into Newcraft 2, and I did for a while, but I think after the stuff started to wear off and I did Journey, like I went super deep into Journey at that point with my outpost and stuff, and later on Farland Anniversary. So I think Newcraft kind of got, for me at least, that was kind of where my motivation dipped. And I think probably had people at least continued playing beyond just Devin, because Devin kind of plays everything. So I was like, it was basically, if the server was running with more people, I probably would have kept playing. And I wouldn't be having this discussion. But alas, the server kind of had its last day, I think. Was it last week? Friday to Saturday. I think that's what it was, or maybe it was Friday night. No, it was Friday. Friday night, me and Devin started the new server, I think. Now it's just me and him. Like I said, very weird, very surreal to be in a completely brand new world. And I picked the seed, and I picked a spawn point just like Newcraft Season 1, and I really like the seed. So hopefully that'll get me excited. And me and Devin are already doing some collaborations and stuff. We already got like a first area semi going. I'll have to show that off next time I stream it. But we've got some semblance of a base going. And hopefully over time we'll actually build up an area and maybe even develop other areas. That would be the dream. I've always wanted to do that. Even just a singular area. I don't think I've really fleshed out areas, because I'm so used to just building a singular structure for a base. It's so wild that I've played some of these worlds for a long time. Like I played Newcraft, the original Newcraft 1, for a year, and I never developed any real areas. I had I think they're called factions in Newcraft 1. And I had a few factions that I was a part of, and I developed. And I even developed Spawn. I guess Spawn was probably my closest thing to an area. But even then, I want something that's kind of creatively, that I'm creatively invested in, and is kind of its own thing, rather than just being a thing everyone's contributing to. It's not a bad thing, but it just, I'd love to build my own areas and stuff. I think that's the dream for a Minecraft world, is just to storytell and build some cool builds. That's what I ultimately love to do. I love the adventure as well, but I'll kind of just do whatever I want to do in the world. I'm not going to really stress building if I don't want to. Although I do have a bit of an itch to build ever since Newcraft 2 and my real lack of building. I mean, the last few worlds have been kind of dry for building on my part. I want to really get some, build up that foundation. And then I can go from there and explore the world or whatever. I know me and Devin have our goals for that too. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We went on a group caving trip. Me and him. That was a lot of fun. I don't think I've ever done something like that in one of our worlds so early on, like a collaboration like that. It surprised me that I never attempted that in like a new craft or anything. I feel like that is such a cool idea just to get the spirits going on the first day. A bit of a icebreaker. Although I suppose there was the time we launched each other into space. The NASA project. And that was a good icebreaker to get everyone introduced to each other. It's too bad that, all of us have kind of went our own different directions in life since then. But hey, it is what it is. And me and Devin got our own thing going now. Can build something up from scratch. It honestly feels like a bit of a rebirth, like a pretty solid rebirth. Not like, Newcraft 1 was pretty good, at least the new one. It was kind of a good new lease on life situation, but it's kind of full circle again. Just strange. But yes, I feel like my journey to the Farlands has been a little bit stunted, with the advent of university and whatnot. I'm not too surprised by that matter. I was, in fact, expecting it. So I wouldn't be surprised if this ended up taking me a little bit longer than I thought. It might take, more like 2 years rather than 1 from now, which isn't, what I would hope for. But I think I'm just gonna loosen up a little bit. I've always been loose about it, but I always kind of talk about it in this sense of efficiency and reaching the Farlands quickly for someone that isn't very competitive. It doesn't say that. I don't say I'm very competitive. I definitely get in my head a little bit about reaching the Farlands in a timely manner. But you know what? I'm just gonna loosen myself from that kind of mindset and just enjoy the world. I think that's my best bet at having this be a nice organic world rather than just me forcing out episodes every day. Not to say that daily episodes in this series isn't a is a bad thing, but I feel like when I'm super uber busy, it's not really to my benefit anymore. But yeah, what else should I talk about? I've been playing some other games recently. I got back into Sims 2 again, and I played a little bit of Sims 4, which I know, shocker, because Sims 4 is such a weird, or not weird, but such a controversial game these days. And me and Devin got in a conversation because EA was, revealing some info about what the future of The Sims is going to be like, and the fact that they're not making a sequel to The Sims 4, and that they're basically just going to make The Sims 4 the forever Sims product, basically, and not really iterate on it any further. I guess they're planning on quote unquote modernizing. I don't know what that tag word, flash words for the investors probably, but you never know with EA what's gonna go on, and I don't know what to think of it. I kind of stopped caring about I always care about it, I guess, but I stopped kind of investing myself in the modern Sims stuff for a while. I kind of went back to it recently. I have a bit of a soft spot for it, but I do know that it's kind of a bit of a buggy mess. what was the saying that I've seen going around? A cake, a beautiful cake, but it's made on a wonky table. That's what The Sims 4 is. I think that's a perfect analogy. It's because it's a game that is, it's very pretty. It's got a lot of set dressing and stuff, but it's not all as it seems. It's very a lot of cracks under the surface, I think. And that's coming from someone who's played the game for many years. I played it ever since it first came out, pretty much. Like, I guess 2015, early 2015, I started playing it. I played the original Sims 3, or the Sims 3. Sorry, it sounded like I was going to say the original Sims, but I played the Sims 3 back in 2014. I didn't play it back in the heyday of it. I was far too young to get into The Sims when The Sims 3 first came out, or even 2 or 1. Not even thinking about them. But I did kind of have a bit of renaissance with The Sims in the past few years with The Sims 2. That's been a lot of fun to play. I did a little mini series on it and decided, I play this game way too inconsistently to make it a series. So yeah, I've been getting back. So I'm here and there with it. But yeah, it's been fun. Been a lot of fun just to mess around in Sims, regardless of the current state of things with that game and that franchise. I don't know if I guess I could see the whole decision of financially of not wanting to abandon a player base basically for a game that's been around 10 years in making a new game, and I'm sure that whole idea of making a new Sims game will upset a lot of people. I guess the standard for the past 25 years or almost 25 years was to iterate and make a new game. So it's definitely a very polarizing or jarring thing to see that The Sims 4 is just going to stick around for indefinitely, at least the way it currently is. A lot of people have been kind of voicing their criticism about it. And I agree. I think there's a lot of stuff going on that is very nuanced. And the whole multiplayer Sims thing is kind of weird to me. I was like, oh, okay, if I know The Sims 4 was originally developed to be a multiplayer game, and that kind of was its downfall after SimCity 2013. And that whole debacle, and they seem to want that multiplayer Sims experience. I'm not sure exactly why. I guess it's this kind of decision to bring a bunch of new fans, and I guess that's what it is. It's down to that whole thing of it not being for us kind of thing. It reminds me a lot of like what was said about the Minecraft movie, in that the Minecraft movie isn't for us, like the Minecraft players. It's kind of for the kids and stuff, even though apparently some kids are kind of think it's a little bit strange. I don't know what to think of the movie. I still want to see it at some point. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters, but it's definitely strange. Even after seeing it in Minecraft Live, I should talk about Minecraft Live as well. But yeah, the Sims situation is all over the place. I am not surprised that they made that announcement, because they never really worded Project Renee as being any continuation. They called it next gen, but a lot of people kind of jumped the gun and assumed it was 5. I kind of partially, there's a voice in the back of my head that was like, no, it's probably not. But I like when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, Sims 5. Yeah, there was that voice that was like, yeah, probably not. It doesn't really give off Sims 5, and especially now that they've announced the fact that there's not going to be one, and the whole that being its own kind of experience. Although the return of My Sims is interesting, and apparently more recently, I don't know how many people would have heard of this. It might be news to some, but apparently Spore's got a new developer team working on it, which that's a game that I played. Definitely not when it came out. Like I said, I would have been way too young to play that game. But it was a game that enraptured me nonetheless back in the early 2010s, and I ended up playing it. Oh, it took me quite a good handful of years to actually get my hands on the game and mess around with it. It's, it's not too bad of a game. I'm interested to see what the new developers do with it. I'm sure it's just some kind of social media based thing where they just maybe might push out a patch or two, um, smoothing out the game if they even do develop the game at all. Or it's, like I said, just some kind of social media team thing where they're just going to keep the socials alive and help the people with registering accounts and stuff, or that kind of thing, Spore accounts, a whole bunch of stuff like that. But yeah, Spore's a lot of fun. It's not quite, I guess, it's not quite as big of a behemoth as The Sims. I think it was kind of, I don't know if it was intended to be. I don't think it was intended to dethrone The Sims, but it's definitely like some kind of niche, new kind of game. I guess evolution games aren't exactly unheard of these days now, but I'm sure back then in 2008, the evolution genre was not quite. Even now, I guess it's not really like super, developed into. I think another genre that is a bit weird now is, I guess, life simulation. Yeah, with The Sims being the only thing, but also city builders, like the things I'm into. I realize are kind of strange genres because the life simulation genre is kind of only dominated by The Sims right now. I guess there are other ones coming out, and there have historically been other life sims, or at least another life sim. I think Max has kind of brought that term to life, no pun intended, pioneering the life simulation genre. But I definitely want to see what other companies and games have in store because, yeah, The Sims 4 is just a crazy situation of nickel and diming and all that nonsense. But yeah, there's like a bunch of stuff. Like one of the lead developers from The Sims, I know, who was working on Project Renee, ended up leaving it behind, which is interesting. And I think he's working on something new now, Grant. Some new project with a bunch of developers from other game companies. So that'll be an interesting thing to see what happens there, if that gets anywhere. And I know there was Paradox's life simulation, which apparently got canceled. Life by You. Which, I mean, yeah, it was kind of in development hell for a while. But I feel like, if it was given some time, it could have actually been something cool. But yeah, it was just I think, a response to that. Paradox was kind of just cutting that off because they knew it wasn't really going anywhere anytime soon. Or something like that. They didn't really want to take any chances because something else. City Skylines, of course. A lot of game talk today, but it's all stuff I'm interested in. But yeah, what was the other one? The city builders. Yes, that's another elusive genre. There's a lot of city builders out there, but the kind of city builders I really like the urban ones where you're building like a city, and I've gotten a good taste for a bunch of them. And honestly, I think the closest I've had to like my type of city builder, I liked what I thought SimCity 2013 was based on, like what you saw from the promotional material. The actual game itself was kind of underwhelming. I feel like, I still play it from time to time. I come back to it every few years at this point, just to do a city or a little region or something. But I don't know. I feel like that I like the art style of it. I like kind of that almost like more cartoony art style, a more Sims like aesthetic. I guess that one's more based on the Sims 3, I think. I tried SimCity 4 and SimCity 3000 and stuff, and SimCity 2 through, I guess, 4, 2000, 3000, and 4000, they're all not bad. Like I think I'm just not too into the whole aesthetic of a lot of the games. 2000, I was pretty, I've enjoyed, gotten quite a bit of time out of. The 3000, I got recently and I haven't played very much of, so I don't really got much to say on it. I think it is probably a pretty good game, but I kind of like a more high fidelity game. I know for some people it's not that big of an issue, but the graphics is a bit of a thing. I don't need like a super crazy ray tracing game by any means. I'm not quite that far out there. I'm still playing old Minecraft and stuff. Like I'm not, it's not like a complete turn off for me. Like old graphics, I do play games with old graphics. Like I guess Sims 2 as well. It's another old one I play. What other game? I don't play too. I guess I don't actually play too many like retro games. Maybe that's why I'm kind of like about old graphics. Maybe I just don't get the charm of it or something. Not sure. But yeah, SimCity. And SimCity 4, I really tried to like the game, but I think just because I never played it when it came out, I'm just not really sold on it. I know it's often said as the definitive SimCity game, and I'd actually see it that way too. That it's probably the best of the games, kind of the peak of the series before 2013. 2013's disaster. And I was really hoping that SimCity 2013 would have been good, but yeah, it would. The cities were way too small. There's so many issues with the game that just due to the engine itself. The game was kind of doomed from the get-go being a multiplayer game. Funny how it shadowed this onto The Sims. I couldn't imagine a world where both The Sims and SimCity would have actually floundered like that. That would have been actually insane. SimCity was already crazy enough, which actually sparked Cities Skylines, the development of that game, which I find it really interesting. So I wonder if, I guess there's already developers making more life simulation games, but I wonder if like the fumbling of The Sims, the continued fumbling is just going to inspire more and more developers to come in and kind of take on new projects and stuff. I guess that's probably already why. Well, I don't know if that's why, but it's definitely, part of the reason why there's a lot more life simulation games coming down the pipeline slowly. But yeah, I definitely want to try them, and then yeah, city builders. I don't know. I don't really have my like definitive city builder. I know there's a lot of like, what's another one? I tried out City State, which was kind of eh. I know the developer talked about how the game itself. I was kind of like, I thought maybe it was just the way that it was very politically oriented, and the game itself was kind of clunky to play. I guess I'm talking City State 2. I didn't play the first game very much. I watched the first game quite a bit, but I don't know. It was kind of like clunky, and yeah, the political system. I thought maybe it was just me that it was just like, oh yeah, I just don't like it. It's not my type of game. But apparently, it was kind of a common thread, and apparently the developer is working on another game. I'm not quite sure exactly what it's going to be like. Maybe a less politically oriented. I'm not quite sure though on that. I swear I saw some kind of blog post about it from the developer of City State. But yeah, that was one that caught my eye for a bit. It was okay. I didn't really. I thought it was kind of cool, like how big of a scale it was. But once I actually started playing it, I was kind of like, eh. So I don't think I found my like definitive city builder. And New City wasn't too bad either. Maybe I'm not quite sure with where I'm at with city builders. But City Skylines 2 is pretty good. I might go back to that after the dust is settled. And I know I'm saying that, and it's been like over a year now since the game came out. Oh my gosh. Almost a year, actually. I don't know if it's been a full year yet. But it's been so long since that game came out, and it's still a buggy mess. I enjoyed it, though, for when I played it. I like the graphics of Cities 2 better than Cities 1. Like, Cities 1 I got hundreds and hundreds of hours out of, but the second game, I love the art style. It's kind of closer to that SimCity for me. I've been playing. I know a lot of people are probably gonna like, um, what's the word? Just absolutely hate on me for playing SimCity Build It, but I've been playing that as like one of my mobile games recently, and it's a stupid grindy game. Like it's not even funny how grindy it is, but it's my excuse to play SimCity. I guess there is the 2013, but am I really gonna open up a copy of? I do. I guess I do have a copy of it, but am I really gonna open up my copy of SimCity 2013 when I can just play it on my iPad, but before going to bed or that kind of thing? Really, like, but yeah, that's the only SimCity game I've been playing recently. Maybe I'll give one of the other SimCity games a try. One of the more gritty ones at another point, but I'm just not too into it right now. But yeah, I'm really into like those types of games, and then Terraria. I should get back into Terraria at some point. A little bit of Lethal. That one's another one I want to get back into too. But we've kind of been saying that it's almost become like what like the relic hunt was like in Newcraft, where I was like, oh yeah, I'll do this, and then I just never ended up doing it. I feel like we keep saying, oh yeah, we should play Lethal, we should play Lethal, and then we just never do. So I don't know what's happening with that. I was kind of like, oh yeah, I might play it, sometime soon, but times have changed a bit. I'm hoping I do get back to it though. It's so much friggin' fun. I just know from playing it the last time, it was a blast. I encourage anyone, if you got like a group of friends. I guess you could play it on your own, but I feel like it wouldn't be the same if you're just joining random lobbies, because then you get that kind of like, just joining random people's stuff, and you don't really know who you're gonna end up with. That kind of thing. I always like just doing it with friends and stuff. That's why I haven't really joined a public SMP or anything, or even an application-based SMP. Because I guess it would be a decent solution, but I kind of like keeping things niche to just me and my friends. Uh, there's something nice about having that, and having the ability to control the world a little bit too is nice. I'm not a complete control freak, but it's nice to have that ability to keep things running and whatnot, and not have to worry about someone pulling the rug from underneath you or that kind of thing. Which I guess most server hosts are actually pretty good, like public server hosts. But me and Devin did old school Minecraft, and it just feels way too fragmented for me. I really like a server to be a community, like a solid community of people that actually know each other and can get along. Which we were kind of like that in Newcraft 2 and 1, but it of course fell through recently with everyone moving their own separate ways. But it would be nice to. I mean, it's just nice. Me and Devin. Me and Devin are pretty close. We can make it work for the time being. It's not like a group of 5 or 6 people. A crazy group, but it doesn't really need to be that way. I don't really need that. It's not an essential for me. For it to be like a crazy server. I've done my fair share of those. And I've even joined. I know I was kind of remiss in saying that, but I have actually played on some larger servers in the past. Mainly, I've hosted them, but I've also joined a few. But I really like the small friend group type stuff. There's just something about it that's lovely. And maybe I might even get some of my new friends on the Minecraft world at some point. I don't know. I discussed that at some one point or another about possibly getting my next kind of wave of friend group onto a server. But time will tell with that. I'm so bloody busy to worry about that right now. But maybe when it kind of plateaus a bit, we'll see. We'll see. But man, a lot of fun though. I've been having a lot of fun. School's been about as fun as I'd have hoped, if not even more so. So it's good to have stuff to fall back on outside. Outside of it. Oh, I'm starting to get tired. Maybe I'll wrap things up after this day here. I know 40 minutes that's not too bad. Maybe I might even aim to do more average length episodes. Commentary only, I imagine. I don't know. Maybe not, but we'll see. If I do it every few days, then maybe I might even just do commentary only. Then the no commentary people will be like, no, even though there's like hundreds of no commentary. Yeah, go and watch them if you're gonna complain. Although I doubt any no commentary viewers are here at this point in this episode, so I'm not gonna be not gonna, worry about that. Worry about stressing it. But yeah. Plenty of Minecrafting going on. It may not look like it, but there is a lot of Minecrafting going on behind the scenes. And I don't mind something taking the foreground, journey being a more of a background or back burner kind of thing. That's kind of what I imagined anyway. I kind of imagined that with Newcraft, especially when we started season 2. I was like, oh yeah, the summer would be a good time to get ahead in the world, and then in the fall I can really mellow out but still play on the world to hang out with people. And then yeah, reality kicked in. And yeah, my whole kind of plan there fell apart. But I'm happy the way things have ended up anyway. Yeah, I'm tired. I know. I'm all yawning and stuff now. I should make some new food as well, and some booties. That would be a wise idea. I was just thinking of an idea for a name. I might call it Reticulating Splines because that's like one of my things, like my what is it? My be right back, or kind of like my alternative be right back screen. So maybe I'll do that just for the fun of it. I know there is a Minecraft splash that's appeared occasionally in Journey, saying Reticulating Splines, which is kind of funny. I don't know if The Sims says that, but I know it's SimCity for sure. That'd be a fun game to do a spotlight on at some point. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. That might be a fun idea. Did I use? Oh no, I still have cobblestone. I'm just blind as a bat apparently. Holy moly. Well, I should make these boots and then be on my way because yeah, I'm tired and I still got a long week ahead. The remainder of my week. So yeah, that's the end of the episode. I felt like I was a bit of a complainer today. Sorry for all the talk about the servers and stuff, but that's just I just talk about what's on my mind. So then that was what was on my mind today. But yeah. Anyway, thank you though everybody for watching, regardless, and tuning in, whatnot. So yeah, thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Alrighty, goodbye. I'm gonna hit my sword off in the distance. I didn't get a thumbnail today either. Maybe I can get this hill here. Maybe a quick snooze. Extended outro. This hill ain't too bad. I feel like there was a better spot earlier. Anyway, bye.